Hari Om. We will begin the program by lighting the lamp at the altar and with an invocation prayer by our Shloka class students.
पत्राय तलोचनाय कर्णावतंसोज्ज्वलकुण्डलाय कारुण्यपात्राय शुभंशजाय नमोऽस्तु रामाय सलक्ष्मणाय नमोऽस्तु रामाय सलक्ष्मणाय विद्युन्विभाम्बोधसुविग्रहाय विद्याधरैः संस्तुतसद्गुणाय वीरावताराय विरोधिहन्त्रे नमोऽस्तु रामाय सलक्ष्मणाय नमोऽस्तु रामाय सलक्ष्मणाय संसप्तदिव्यायुधकान्मुखाय समुद्रगर्वापहरायुधाय सुग्रीवमित्राय सुरारिहन्त्रे नमोऽस्तु रामाय सलक्ष्मणाय नमोऽस्तु रामाय सलक्ष्मणाय पीताम्बरालङ्कृतमध्यगाय पितामहेन्द्रामरवन्दिताय पित्रे स्वभक्तस्य जनस्य मात्रे नमोऽस्तु रामाय सलक्ष्मणाय नमोऽस्तु रामाय सलक्ष्मणाय नमो नमस्तेऽखिलपूजिताय नमो नमः चन्द्रनिभाननाय नमो नमस्ते रघुवंशजाय नमोऽस्तु रामाय सलक्ष्मणाय नमो नमस्ते रघुवंशजाय नमोऽस्तु रामाय सलक्ष्मणाय नमोऽस्तु रामाय सलक्ष्मणाय नमोऽस्तु रामाय सलक्ष्मणाय
Hari Om. On behalf of Chinmaya Somnath, a warm welcome to you all. Thank you for joining us this evening. Today's program is a prayerful offering to Lord on the occasion of Rama Navami and Hanuman Jayanthi, the birth of Lord Sri Rama and the greatest devotee Hanumanji. We will celebrate this joyous occasion with a variety of enthusiastic performances from devotees of all age groups, from tiny tots to senior sadhakas, and inspiring messages from our Vedanta teachers and Swamiji. We hope you will participate and revel in the divine presence for the rest of the program. If you would like to chant along with the performers today, download the scripts from our latest newsletter or from the link posted in the Zoom chat. We will begin today's program with a brief message from Swami Dhiranandaji, the spiritual head of Chinmaya Mission Washington Regional Center, who continues to inspire us and guide us through our spiritual journey. This will be followed by the chanting of the Ramaraksha Stotram by a group of Chinmaya Somnath Sevaks.
Sri Hanuman is the very embodiment of the quiet mind, along with alert and vigilant intellect. When we invoke Sri Hanuman, our mind intellect is quiet, alert, and vigilant. Agitations, anxieties, and worries vanish, and we get the ability to meet all challenges of life cheerfully. Lord Rama Mother Sita, and selfless Lakshmana, representing Jnana, Bhakti, Vairagya, are always abiding in the heart of Sri Hanuman. Jnana, knowledge; Bhakti, devotion; Vairagya, dispassion, are always abiding in a quiet, alert, and vigilant mind. May the grace and blessings of Sri Hanuman flow through us to consecrate the divine knowledge, devotion, and dispassion in our heart. Jai Siya Ram, Jai Hanuman, Hari Om.
गणेशाय नमः। अस्य श्रीरामरक्षास्तोत्रमन्त्रस्य बुधकौशिकऋषिः श्रीसीतारामचन्द्रो देवता अनुष्टुप्छन्दः सीताशक्तिः श्रीमद्धनुमानकीलकं श्रीरामचन्द्रप्रीत्यर्थे जपे विनियोगः। अथ ध्यानम्। ध्यायेदाजानुबाहुं द्रुतशरधनुषं बद्धपद्मासनस्थं पीतं वासोवसानं नवकमलदलस्वर्गिनेत्रं प्रसन्नं वामाङ्गारूढसीता मुखकमलमिदल्लोचनं नीरदाभं नानालङ्कारदीप्तं ददतमुर्जटां मण्डनं रामचन्द्रम् इति ध्यानम्। चरितं रघुनाथस्य शतकोटिप्रविस्तरम् एकैकमक्षरं पुंसां महापातकनाशनं ध्यात्वा नीलोत्पलश्यामं रामं राजीवलोचनं जानकीलक्ष्मणोपेतं जटामुकुटमण्डितं सासीरूढधनुर्बाणं पाणिं नक्तं चरान्तकं स्वलीलया जगत्त्रातुम् आविर्भूतमजं विभुम् रामरक्षां पठेत् प्राज्ञा पापग्निः सर्वकामदा शिरो मे राघवः पातु बालं दशरथात्मजा कौसल्येव वृषौ पातु विश्वामित्रप्रियश्रुति प्राणं पातु मुखत्राता मुखं सौमित्रिवत्सला जिह्वां विद्यानिधिः पातु कण्ठं भरतवन्दिता स्कन्धौ दिव्यायुधः पातु भुजौ गणेशकारुणा करौ सीतापतिः पातु हृदयं जामदग्नजित् मध्यं पातु करध्वंसी नाभिं जाम्बवदाश्रया सुग्रीवे शकटिः पातु शक्तिः हनुमत्प्रभु पुरुरवुत्तमः पातु रक्षकुलविनाशक जाह्नवी सेतुकृतः पातु जङ्घे दशमुखान्तकः पादौ विभीषणः श्रीधरः पातु रामोऽखिलं वपुः एतां रामबलोपेतां रक्षाय सुकृती पटे सचिरायुसुखी पुत्री विजयी विनयी भवेत् पातालभूतलव्योमचारिणः शब्दचारिणः न द्रष्टुमपि शक्तास्ते रक्षितं नाम नामवे रामेति रामभद्रेति रामचन्द्रेति वा स्मरन् नरो न लिप्यते पापे भुक्तिं मुक्तिं च विन्दति जगज्जयत्रैकमन्त्रेण रामनाम्नाभिरक्षितं यः कण्ठे धारे तस्य तरस्था सर्वसिद्धया वज्रपञ्जरनामेकं यो रामकवचं स्मरेत् अव्याहताभ्य सर्वत्र लभते जयमङ्गलम् आदिष्टवानिहा स्वप्ने रामरक्षामि मामकः तथा लिखितवान् प्रातः प्रबुद्धो बुधकौशिकः आरामकल्पवृक्षाणां वीरामस्कलापदाम् अभिरामश्रीलोकानां रामः श्रीमान् सनप्रभु कर्मवृतसम्पन्नौ सुकुमारौ महाबलौ पुण्डरीकविशालाक्षौ क्षीरकृष्णाभिनाम्बरौ फलमूलाशिनौ कान्तौ तापसौ ब्रह्मचारिणौ पुत्रौ दशरथश्रेष्ठौ भ्रातरौ रामलक्ष्मणौ शरण्यौ सर्वसत्त्वानां श्रेष्ठौ सर्वधनुष्मतां रक्षकुलनिहन्तारौ त्रायेकार्णो नरोत्तमौ आर्तसज्जधनुषा विशस्पृशा वक्षया शुभनिषङ्गसन्धिनौ रक्षणाय मम राम लक्ष्मणा भद्रतः सदैव गच्छताम् सन्नद्धकवची खड्गी चापबाणधरो युवा गच्छन् मनोगतोऽस्माकं रामः पातु स लक्ष्मणः रामो दाशरथी शूरो लक्ष्मणानुचरो बली काकुत्स्थः पुरुषः पूर्णः कौसल्येयो रघुत्तमः वेदान्तवेद्यो यज्ञेशः पुराणपुरुषोत्तमः जानकी वल्लभः श्रीमान् अप्रमेय पराक्रमः तीर्थेतानि जपे नित्यं मद्भक्तः श्रद्धयान्वितः अश्वमेधादिकं पुण्यं सम्प्राप्नोति न संशयः रामं दुर्वादलश्यामं पद्माक्षं पीतवाससं स्तुवन्ति नाम कीर्तिर्वैन ते संसारिणो नरः रामं लक्ष्मणं पूर्वजं रघुवरं सीतापतिं सुन्दरं काकुत्स्थं करुणानवं गुणनिधिं विप्रप्रियं धार्मिकं राजेन्द्रं सत्यसङ्गं दशरथतनयं श्यामलं शान्तमूर्तिं वन्दे लोकाभिरामं रघुकुलतिलकं राघवं रावणारिं रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताय पतये नमः श्रीराम राम रघुनन्दन राम राम श्रीराम राम भरतार्यज राम राम श्रीराम राम रणकर्कश राम राम श्रीराम राम शरणं भव राम राम श्रीरामचन्द्र चरणौ मनसा स्मरामि श्रीरामचन्द्र चरणौ वचसा गृह्णामि श्रीरामचन्द्र चरणौ शिरसा नमामि श्रीरामचन्द्र चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये माता रामो मत्पिता रामचन्द्र स्वामी रामो मत्सखा रामचन्द्र सर्वस्वं मे रामचन्द्रो दयालु नान्यं जाने नैव जाने न जाने दक्षिणे लक्ष्मणो यस्य वामे तु जनकात्मजा पुरतो मारुतिर्यस्य तं वन्दे रघुनन्दनं लोकाभिरामं रणरङ्गधीरं राजीवनेत्रं रघुवंशनाथं कारुण्यरूपं करुणाकरन्तं श्रीरामचन्द्रं शरणं प्रपद्ये मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शरणं प्रपद्ये पूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलम् आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम् वर्जनं भवबीजानां वर्जनं सुखसम्पदां तर्जनं यमदूतानां राम रामेति गर्जनं रामो राजमणिः सदा विजयते रामं रमेशं भजे रामेणाभिहता निशाचरचमो रामाय तस्मै नमः रामान्नास्ति परायणं परतरं रामस्य दासोऽस्म्यहं रामे चित्तलयः सदा भवतु मे भो राम मामुत्तर राम रामेति रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं राम नाम वरानने इति श्रीयुगकौशिकविरचितं श्रीरामरक्षास्तोत्रं सम्पूर्णम् श्रीसीतारामचन्द्रार्पणमस्तु।
The next set of offerings are from 2nd and 3rd grade Balavihar students in the Shivam class. They will be reciting the Hanuman Chalisa. After that, get ready to see the Madhuram class students charm us by telling us the story of the Ramayana through characters. Be sure to stay tuned for the end because there'll be a surprise performance.
Hari Om, all Namaste. A very warm welcome to all of you. This year in Balavihar, we Shivam class kids have been learning about Lord Hanumanji and his virtues. Today we are going to recite Dhyana Shloka and Hanuman Chalisa as our humble offering to Lord Hanumanji. Jai Hanuman!
बुद्धिर्बलं यशोधैर्यं निर्भयत्वं मरोगता अजाड्यं वाक्पटुत्वं च हनुमत्स्मरणात् भवेत्.
By remembering and praying to Hanumanji, one can gain intelligence, strength, fame, courage, fearlessness, good health, alertness, and eloquence. May Hanumanji bless all of us.
श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधारी वरनौ रघुबर विमल यशु जोदायक फलचारी बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेश विकार. जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीस लोक उजागर रामदूत अतुलित बलधाम अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नाम महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी कंचन वरण विराज सुवेश कानन कुंडल कुंचित केश हाथ वज्र ध्वजा विराजे कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजे शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे रामचंद्र के काज सवारे लाय संजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुवीर हरषि उर लाए रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरतहि सम भाई सहस बदन तुम्हरो यश गावे अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीश नारद सारद सहित अहीश यम कुबेर दिक्पाल जहाते कवि कोविद कहि सके कहाते तुम उपकार सुग्रीव ही कीन्हा राम मिलाय राजपद दीना तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना युग सहस्र योजन पर भानु लीलो ताहि मधुर फल जानु प्रभु मुद्रिका मेरि मुख माहि जलधि लांघि गय अचर जनाहि दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे हो न आज्ञा बिन पैसारे सब सुख लगे तुम्हारी शरण तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना आपन तेज समारो आपे तीनों लोक हांकते कापे भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे महावीर जब नाम सुनावे नाशे रोग हरे सब वीरा जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा संकट से हनुमान छुड़ावे मन क्रम भजन ध्यान जो लावे सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे चारों युग परताप तुम्हारा हे प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा साधु संत के तुम रखवारे असुर निकंदन राम दुआरे अष्ट सिद्धि नवनिधि के दाता असवर दीन जानकी माता राम रसायन तुम्हारे पास सदा तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावै, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावै, अंत काल रघुवर पुर जाय, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाय, और देवता चित्तन धरय, हनुमत से सर्व सुख करय, संकट कटै मिटै सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीर। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नाय, जो शत बार पाठ कर कोई, छूटहि बंदी महासुख होय, जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होय सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा, तुलसीदास सदा हरिचेरा, कीजय नाथ हृदय महादेवा, कीजय नाथ हृदय महादेवा। पवन तनय संकट हरना, मंगल मूर्ति रूपा, राम लखन सीता सहिता, हृदय बसहु सुरभूप, सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय। हरि ओम। जय श्री राम, जय हनुमान।
Hi, my name is Arjun. Today my class will present the characters of the Ramayana. Happy Ram Navami. I am Dasharatha, king of Ayodhya and father of Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata and Shatrugna. I'm the wife of Dasharatha and the mother of Ram. Ram is my greatest joy. I am wife of Dasharatha. I am mother Bharata. I am Sumitra. I am the wife of Dasharatha. I am the mother of Lakshmana and Shatrugna. I am Rama, Prince of Ayodhya. I am Avatara of Lord Vishnu, a shameless strong bonds with all my brothers. I am Bharata. I'm really devoted to my brother Rama. I lead the praying to return from exile to rule the kingdom of Ayodhya. My name is Lakshmana. My duty is to protect my brother Rama and his wife Sita. I am Shatrugna, younger brother of Rama. I am Sita, life of Rama. I am God of sacrifice, beauty and love. Ha, ha, ha! I am Ravana. I'm a great devotee of Lord Shiva and have 10 heads. I am Mandodari, wife of Ravana and daughter of Mayasura. I'm powerful sister of Ravana. I am Kumbhakarna, the brother of Ravana and Vibhishana. I am very strong and have a huge appetite. I can also sleep for 6 months at a time. I am Vibhishana, younger brother of Ravana and Kumbhakarna. I am Shagriva. I am the king of Varna. Await the magical monkey. My brother's name is Avari. My friend is Hanuman. I, Hanuman, a god of wisdom, strength, courage, and devotion. I am Jatayu. I am a golden, powerful eagle. I would always be loyal to King Dasratha and Rama. I am Shabri, a great devotee of Rama. I know where Rama will come and bless me. I am a spoiler from from Rayana. I help Lord Rama by taking little pebbles from the seashore to the sea. Shri Guru Charana Sarojana Ja Nijamana Mukucha Sarara Paranauraka Tina Hira Jodaraka Marajada Puttahitana Janike Sumire Pavana Kumara Palaputti Vidyar Tejas Jo
देहु मोहि हर कलेस विकार।
जी हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीस मुलक उजागर राम दूत हट बलदा अंजन पुत्र पवन सुत नाम महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमतिन वार समुंडकी कंचन बरन वीरान वेद खानंद कुंडल कुंडल हड़व चाड़व राजे कांडी मूंग जनी हो साजे शंकर सरन केसरी नंदी देवता अंधन विद्या बाण गुनियाड़ी जाट राम कार वडवे को आठ प्रवचरी सुवी को रामन कन सीतामन वशा सूक्ष्म रूप धर काम विकट रूप भीम रूप धरे असुर साम रामचंद्र की कार लाए लाए संजीवन लग जेरा श्री रघुवीर शिवराधे रघुकंठ कीनी पौंड।
That last cute, spirited performance was by our youngest artist from Chinmaya Blossoms. Blossoms is our preschool program for 3 and 4-year-olds. Registration for both Balavihar and Chinmaya Blossoms for next year is now open. Please register early to get your preferred session. Check the newsletter for more details. Now, time for some nostalgia through pictures submitted by a few Somnath families.
So this last picture of Ram Parivar you see is a large hand-drawn painting by a devotee at Somnath. It measures 3 feet by 4 feet, and tonight you have an opportunity to win this beautiful picture through an auction. You have from now until the end of the program to send your bids to the co-host named Art Auction with a starting bid of $1,008. Our lucky winner will be announced at the end of the event. We will begin our next segment with the beautiful bhajan by Swami Tejo Mayananda, followed by bhajans from some very talented Somnath families.
Now, Bhagwan Ram, Bhagwan Sri Ram. And in this song, that Bhagwan is returning from 14 years exile and returning to Ayodhya. And he came a Pushpak Viman. That aeroplane was called Pushpak. And Bhagwan came, and with him is Sita ji, Lakshmana, Sugriva, Hanuman, Nala, Nila, Angada, Vibhishana, Jambavan. And as the plane was coming, all the Ayodhyavasis saw that. And they started singing, see, look at that. Bhagwan is arriving. And there was great joy in Ayodhya. Not only in Ayodhya, in the 3 worlds. Why? because now Ram Rajya will be established. Satya Dharma Stampa. देखो देखो रे आए रे भगवान श्री राम. देखो देखो रे आए रे भगवान, देखो देखो रे आए रे भगवान श्री राम सीताराम, श्री राम सीताराम.
देखो देखो रे आए रे भगवान,
देखो देखो रे आए रे
भगवान श्री राम सीताराम, श्री राम सीताराम.
देखो देखो रे आए रे भगवान, देखो देखो रे आए रे भगवान श्री राम सीताराम, श्री राम सीताराम.
देखो देखो रे आए रे भगवान, देखो देखो रे आए रे भगवान श्री राम सीताराम, श्री राम सीताराम.
देखो पुष्पकारूढ़ सिया राम, देखो पुष्पकारूढ़ सिया राम. लक्ष्मण सुग्रीव हनुमान,
लक्ष्मण सुग्रीव हनुमान.
देखो पुष्पकारूढ़ सिया राम, लक्ष्मण सुग्रीव हनुमान.
देखो पुष्पकारूढ़ सिया राम, लक्ष्मण सुग्रीव हनुमान.
नल नील अंगद समेत, नल नील अंगद समेत विभीषण अरु जाम्बवान,
विभीषण अरु जाम्बवान.
विभीषण अरु जाम्बवान, विभीषण अरु जाम्बवान. देखो देखो रे आए रे भगवान, देखो देखो रे आए रे भगवान श्री राम सीताराम, श्री राम सीताराम.
देखो देखो रे आए रे भगवान, देखो देखो रे आए रे भगवान श्री राम सीताराम, श्री राम सीताराम.
आनंद मगन पुरजन मंगल मोद त्रिभुवन, आनंद मगन पुरजन मंगल मोद त्रिभुवन. अब सत्य धर्म स्थापन, अब सत्य धर्म स्थापन, राम राज कीर्ति महान, राम राज कीर्ति महान, राम राज कीर्ति महान,
राम राज कीर्ति महान.
देखो देखो रे आए रे भगवान, देखो देखो रे आए रे भगवान श्री राम सीताराम, श्री राम सीताराम.
देखो देखो रे आए रे भगवान, देखो देखो रे आए रे भगवान श्री राम सीताराम, श्री राम
सीताराम, श्री राम श्री राम श्री राम. या रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुध हनुमान की जय, ईश्वर गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय.
रामा रामा रटते रटते बीती रे उमरिया, रामा रामा रटते रटते बीती रे उमरिया। रघुकुल नंदन कब आओगे, रघुकुल नंदन कब आओगे, दासी की डगरिया, रामा रामा रटते रटते बीती रे उमरिया। मैं शबरी बिलनी की छाई, भजन भाव नहीं जानू रे, मैं शबरी बिलनी की छाई, भजन भाव नहीं जानू रे, राम तुम्हारे दर्शन की हित वन में जीवन पालू रे, राम तुम्हारे दर्शन के हित वन में जीवन पालू रे, चरण कमल से निर्मल कर दो, चरण कमल से निर्मल कर दो, दासी की चौपड़िया, रामा रामा रटते रटते बीती रे उमरिया, रामा रामा रटते रटते बीती रे उमरिया। रघुकुल नंदन कब आओगे, रघुकुल नंदन कब आओगे, दासी की डगरिया, रामा रामा रटते रटते बीती रे उमरिया, बीती रे उमरिया।
हरिओम। हो तुम्हारो एक दास गोसाई, हो तुम्हारो एक दास गोसाई, कृपा करो हनुमान, कृपा करो हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करो हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करो हनुमान। सिद्ध भारी की तपोभूमि में, चिन्मय विभूति की प्रेम भूमि में, आप विराजे वीरासन में, आप विराजे वीरासन में, सब में जगाते भाव भक्ति के, सब में जगा करो हनुमान। आराधन नित वंदन कीर्तन, आराधन नित वंदन कीर्तन, और करूँ मैं नम्र निवेदन, और करूँ मैं नम्र निवेदन। जीवन हो हम सब का पावन, जीवन हो हम सब का पावन, दिव्य हो आप समान, दिव्य हो आप समान। कृपा करो हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करो हनुमान। हो तुमरो एक दास गोसाई, हो तुमरो एक दास गोसाई, कृपा करो हनुमान, कृपा करो हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करो हनुमान, कृपा करो हनुमान।
कभी राम बन की, कभी श्याम बन की, चले आना प्रभु जी चले आना। कभी राम बन की, कभी श्याम बन की, चले आना प्रभु जी चले आना। सीता साथ लेके धनुष हाथ लेके चले आना प्रभु जी चले आना। सीता साथ लेके धनुष हाथ लेके चले आना प्रभु जी चले आना। कभी राम बन के, कभी श्याम बन के चले आना प्रभु जी चले आना। कभी राम बन के, कभी श्याम बन के चले आना प्रभु जी चले आना।
Those bhajans were so wonderfully sung. Huge thank you to all of our Somnath families. Next, we have reflections by a few of our sadhakas attending Sundarakanda study group. Everyone in this group carves out precious time from their busy schedules for their continued study of Vedanta, so props to them. Please check out the study group link on the Somnath website to get a complete list of currently active groups. No matter your level of interest, we have a group for you. Before the reflections, we would like to invite our very own Sri Arvind Bhagwat Ji, a Vedanta teacher at Somnath, who is loved for making learning fun and engaging with relevant examples and an amazing sense of humor. We request him to share his insightful thoughts on Ramayana.
Hari Om. Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Dakshine Lakshmano Yasya Vame Tu Janakatmaja Purato Marutir Yasya Tam Vande Raghunandanam. Hari Om. We are here in a very joyous occasion to celebrate Rama Navami and Hanuman Jayanti. These two very inspirational figures, several jnanis, munis, rishis have commented and studied and elaborated for we devotees to reflect upon Ramayana in general and how to be an ideal devotee in terms of Hanumanji's character. So in Chinmaya mission, starting with the tradition, Adi Shankaracharya too, a great thinker, has commented on Ramayana. Using this Ramayana, this a great exponent of knowledge, has used this for our purification of our mind. So today what we will see, starting from Adi Shankaracharya, and of course, to explain Adi Shankaracharya's words, we need some help. So we'll see a short 3-minute clip of Pujya Gurudev explaining how we should look at, especially adults, beyond the story to Ramayana characters. And then just one small glimpse of Ramayana singing in the voice of Swami Tejamananda. And then Saint Tulsidas Ji's Ramcharitmanas, how he brings different dimensions for us to reflect and study, we'll see that. So see, we'll start from Adi Shankaracharya Ji. See, in the very wonderful book, what we call as Book of Concepts, Atma Bodha, Adi Shankaracharya says, Tirtva moharnavam hatva ragadveshadirakshasan yogi shanti samayuktaha atma ramo virajate. So Shankaracharya ji is putting us, we sadhaka, is giving us a title yogi. A seeker, he unites and shines. Shankaracharya says, oh, yogi unites and shines? Oh, why we would like to know. So at the moment this statement comes, various questions come to our mind. Whom do I need to unite? Where, when, and how? So whom do I need to unite as a sadhaka? I need to unite with Shanti. Of course, everybody wants Shanti. Where I can find it? In one's own self. Atma Rama. And when would that happen? Because right now my experience is not Shanti and I don't know what is in myself. So they say, Shankaracharya says, well, when you have to cross the sea of delusion, Tirtva Mohar Nam Hatva, sea of delusion. Is it easy to cross? How to cross it? By killing the monsters of my likes and dislikes. Tall order. But see, Shankaracharya said this. But did my dilemma go away? No, we understood the words, but my dilemma still remains. Oh, if if Shankaracharya says I'm not going to argue with Shankaracharya ji, Rama may be dwelling in my heart, but then why do my children don't listen to me? Or my spouse doesn't listen to me, or a boss or co-workers? And then if Rama may be pure joy, but then now I'm stuck with COVID, I'm getting bored at home. Or may not be this extreme, but okay, let's make it simple. I understand these words of Shankaracharya ji, but I don't get it. So to address this, I don't get it. A audio visual teaching manual is needed as a full length Ramayana. See, Shankaracharya gave great Advaitin. He gave one verse. But for us, we need full audio visual manual. And our association with various Ramayana characters can act as guide for our mind's ever-changing moods. We'll just take two examples. For example, Sita, as we would see, Pujya Gurudev very nicely explained this as a delusionary ego, Maya. But right now, this ego, instead of reveling in my own self, is in living a life in exile. How so? Who kidnapped it? He says, you can do multiple roles. We all do multiple roles. So I myself act as Ravana, meaning my likes and dislikes, my strong materialist. I don't say I'm a materialistic person. No one says that. But I get deluded by very decidefully these conveniences enter in my life in terms of 5G phone or Vitamix or whatever, Tesla car, whatever. They just enter and they just capture my personality. So these materialistic attractions are very difficult. My personality gets carried as though I'm living in exile in this material world. So let us see what Puja Gurudev says.
The idea is you and I are Ravana. Our attention is constantly turned outward through the 10 Indriyas. So extrovert man, pure materialist, mere secularism, extreme power and progress in the, external material progress, lusty living for the fulfillment of their life only to hug the objects of the outer world, he comes in a deceitful form. Materialism enters the bosom of a seeker in a deceitful form only. He comes in and takes away Sita, and Sita thus becomes a prisoner in Lanka. Her fall from Ayodhya to Lanka is the fall of man from the grace of divinity into the present condition of sense of guilt, sorrows, agitations, worries, knows no happiness. There he comes to suffer. You and I are Sita now in Lanka. What did she do there? We also have to perform or go through the same discipline. She refused to cooperate with the secularism and materialism all around. She said no. And when she said no, the material world can never touch her. She remained under the Ashoka tree. Shoka, sorrow. Ashoka, not that there is no sorrow, but even though there are sorrows in the mind of you and I, we refuse to recognize. Ashoka remained and continuously started remembering and contemplating upon Ram with a sense of total surrender, recognizing and realizing that terrible mistake that I made, she remained there. When you thus remain, you will find that every seeker will get intimations from the divine, from Sri Ram, that I am come. Hanumanji reaches there, gives her the symbol. Her hopes have increased now. She is confident that he is coming now.
Her hopes are increased that Lord is coming now. And Gurudev is assuring us, so would be ours. The thing is, to do that, we need to purify our mind. And an example of this purification of mind, how to achieve, is the purpose with which Tulsidas ji sung the glories of Lord Rama in Tulsi Ramayana. See, he says, very beautiful chaupai. We'll just see one chaupai. He says, to pavan, to my tongue, gira, vani, I want to make it, I want to sanctify it. How so? By singing Rama Jasa, glories of Rama. Rama's yasha, Rama's glories are infinite, aparabaridi. But he says, if we just sing, Sunije Sadara Gavai, those who just listen and sing, they would get enthused with the enthusiasm, which is very sanctified and purifying. And that itself, the calmness and happy mind is the prasad of Vaidehi Ram. Sita and Rama is the prasada rupa. Our mind will become pure and happy. So we'll just listen to this one chaupai in Pujya Guruji's voice.
निज गिरा पावन करन धारन राम जसु तुलसी कयो निज गिरा पावन करन धारन राम जसु तुलसी कयो रघुवीर चरित अपार उपवीत व्यास उठा मंगल सुनिजे सादर आवहि वैदेही राम प्रसाद से जन सर्वदा सुख पावहि निज गिरा पावहि.
See, he says, Rama's glory is like the ocean, like the huge lake maybe. And you can't approach a lake just like that. You have to have a steps. And since it is of infinite dimensions, Tulsidas ji has chosen 4. And this is what we have been studying in the Sundarkand, that one section of Ramayana. That in one section, we approach it from a pure devotee point of view. It's called Dina Ghat. The other one is Karma Ghat. This Rama Katha story is going on with Yajnavalkya Muni and Bharadwaj Rishi. So that is Karma Ghat in point of view of yoga of action. Or it could be a conversation between Shiva and Parvati at a knowledge point of view. Or it could be simply Upasana Ghat, a yoga of worship with Kaka Bhushundi and eagle. So Tulsidas ji, while narrating the Rama Katha, takes us the camera suddenly to these different ghats, different point of views. These chaupais can be studied. And that's what we have been doing. So you would see some of the, I was told that some study members have given their reflections on this, their tour as though of different point of views. So we'll listen to those. Hari Om.
Hari Om. I'm happy to have this opportunity to reflect on Sundarkand. Many thanks for this opportunity. Sundarkand, as you're aware, is a story of Hanuman discovering the hiding place of Mother Sita, despite having all the obstacles that came his way. And I have to admit that the joy of reciting can never be expressed in words. It has to be experienced. We've also been conducting the 9-day chantings at Chinmaya for a few years, and needless to say, the joy of doing it is endless. What Sundarkand enforces to us is our continued bhakti to reach Him. There are several examples of devotion in Sundarkand. Hanuman represents utmost devotion. Hanuman is topped by hurdles, the Manaka mountain, Sursa the mother of snakes, Sinhika the demoness who captured shadows, and finally Lankani. To all those, his message was, I have to accomplish Lord Rama's work. Devotion of Hanuman is the highest form of devotion. Hanuman is the manifestation of faith that gives us strength and helps us transform to a higher self. Last example is Vibhishan, who was devoted to Rama, convinced Ravana to give up Sita but was not successful. But his devotion gave him courage to live in a home in the land of Asuras. His heart was full of glory of a devotee of Rama. This reminds me of one of the most beautiful dohas in Sundarkand. The small cottage amongst the palaces of Lanka was Vibhishan's home. It had the sounds and glories of Rama, and it brought joy to Hanuman. Rama yud ankit grah, shobha barni na jai, nav tulsika brind tahan, dekhi harshi kapirai. After much disagreement, he was banished from Lanka, and Rama took him with open arms. As even in the Gita, the Lord says, You seek refuge, and I'll give you shelter. So he did. The teaching from Sundarkand, from all the examples listed, shows us that we also sometimes question our faith. We wonder if our prayers reach anywhere, but just as we love the Lord, He showers His blessings in His own way.
Hari Om. My name is Vinod Kulkarni. On the occasion of Rama Navami, I would like to share some of my reflections from my study group on Sundarkanda. I have understood that Sundarkanda is not just a story, but has deep Vedantic philosophies and teachings for the sadhakas. As the story unfolded about Lord Hanuman's visit to Lanka, we compared those situations to our lives and how our actions are driven by various desires, sometimes sense of duty, penance, etc. Whereas actions of Lord Hanuman are always driven by utmost devotion to Lord Rama. From his measured responses while facing obstacles, we learned that God puts us through various challenges when a lesson is to be learned. If we keep the Lord in our mind, difficulties will turn into opportunities. We compared qualities and behavior of Bibhishana and Hanuman. We tried to see how Bibhishana and his situation relates to our lives as sadhakas and how we need to develop qualities of Hanuman. Hanuman is a stranger when he meets Devi Sita. There is a lot to learn from how he chooses his words to calm her mind and give her assurance, so she starts trusting him. When we studied how Ravana tries to use Sama, Dama, Bhaya, Bheda while talking to Sita, we reflected on how we also face those and how they become obstacles in our sadhana. When Hanuman meets Ravana as Lord Rama's ambassador, we learned that how he uses bhakti, virakti, vivek, and niti during his conversation and did not use sama, dama, bhaya, veda.
Hari Om. I'm Anushka Zadav, and since today is Ram Navami, I want to share some of my thoughts with you about Lord Hanuman, who is Lord Ram's most beloved devotee. So in art and in murtis, Lord Hanuman is always shown as somebody who's very tall and who has very big muscles, showing that he's really strong. And along with that, he's really courageous because he went on so many missions for Lord Ram, being his messenger. And he's also Buddhi Matam Varishtam, which is from the Ramraksha Stotram. That means that he's the most intelligent of all intelligent beings. But despite having so many qualities, he's really humble. And you can see that in pictures, and I'm with these again, of Hanuman, Lord Ram, Lakshman, and Sita. Hanuman is always shown as kneeling down. He never stands up with Lord Ram. And that's really important for me because it taught me that no matter how many things I do in life, big or small, I should always be humble about my actions. And that's what really makes me a good person and a good devotee.
Hari Om and Jai Siya Ram, Bolo Siyavar Ramachandra Bhagwan Ki Jai. Alongside the sort of dharmic benefits of studying and our bhakti expressions, there are also various practical benefits we can take by studying the Sundarkan. However, the Sundarkan also sparks quite a few hidden gems as well. Now, from a management and leadership perspective, I'd just like to share a few examples here. So firstly, we learn about courage and motivation and inspiration and bravery from Hanumanji, where he was feeling in a demotivated, low state on the shores of India, on Bharat, and how the motivations from Angad and Jamvanji, Hanumanji ignited his inner spirit and like a playground sort of leaped over the ocean to Lanka. Secondly, we learn about conflict management, how Hanumanji managed the obstacles he had in his Ram Kaja, in his goal, like Lankini and Sursa, and how he diplomatically resolved them appropriate to the context and content in question. Thirdly, we have compassion. Hanumanji was compassionate towards the Ram Bhakta, even on the enemy side. Vibhishana, when he heard Vibhishana chanting Ram's name in his sleep, he was showering his compassion onto him. Fourthly, when we learn about trust, integrity and love, when Hanumanji gave the mudrika to Sita, Siya, Maya, and he narrated Sri Ram's story, it was a profound experience where he captivated her trust even amongst this Rakshas kingdom. We have diplomacy, where Hanumanji, after Indrajit fired the Brahmastra, Hanumanji knew this would cause devastation, so he allowed himself to be captured and knew when to be diplomatic. So Hanumanji has a lot of these qualities, and we could learn a lot about it from studying the Sundarkan. Finally, to burn Ravan's pride, Hanumanji was also a fire starter, in the sense that when Ravan ignited Hanuman's tail, Hanumanji actually ended up burning the whole of Lanka with this as well. So we see how the negative qualities can be burnt as well. So
Hari Om, my name is Rita Khanna. I am very grateful to be part of the Sundarkan study group led by Arvindji, and want to express my gratitude to him for taking us through this journey of self-discovery. I grew up listening to my mother singing Ramayana, and every year look forward to watching Ramlila during the period of Rama Navami. But it is only after listening to Arvindji's beautiful description of Sundarkan I am getting to understand the deeper meaning, or so-called hidden gems of Ramayana. In other words, I'm getting to know the spiritual principles at Adhyatmic level and how those can be applied to our everyday life at Vyavaharik level. Ramayana is not only a story about Rama's life of duty or an ideal person, presenting us with a role model for how we should lead our transactional life, but it is also providing us with deeper principles of our spiritual growth. For example, we see that at the Vyavaharik level how Hanumanji follows instructions of his leader Jamvan to accomplish the task of finding out about Sita's situation, which he accomplishes in the face of many obstacles that came his way, and keeping his mind focused all the time on achieving the goal in spite of distractions. And at the spiritual level, Hanumanji exemplifies true virtues of a perfect sadhaka. He carries out his duties without self-aggrandizing, arrogance, pride, or overconfidence, keeping in mind always that he is not the doer, thereby without ego or ahankara, and with an attitude of surrender to the Lord, keeping the ego out and keeping the Lord in his heart. Hopefully, we also can follow Hanumanji's example in our daily transaction and our spiritual journey. Hari Om.
To summarize, we have been reflecting on what it means to have an integrated personality like Lord Hanuman, when our speech, mind, and actions are all in unison, focused on the goal, and devoted to the Lord. The journey of the sadhaka to get to that level is journey from human to Hanuman, and that's the name of our study group. Hari Om.
Many, many thanks to Arvindji for making this epic so enjoyable by instilling those pearls of Vedanta in the story. I have to admit, the richness of our literature shines through these texts, and you just bring it out. I do hope this session lasts longer so we can bask in the wisdom of Ramcharitmanas a few more weeks.
Jai Shri Ram.
Hari Om, everyone. I just want to make a couple of quick announcements in between the programs that have already been completed and a couple of other programs that are coming up. We have Rama Janma chanting coming up by the young adults and the budding adults, which are known as Setukaris. And then we will have the Arati at Chinmaya Somnath that will go on, and with that we will conclude the program. But before that, a couple of quick announcements, and then I will get out of the way and we'll continue on with the program. So, as you all are very well aware, we as humanity are going through a very difficult time. So, Chinmaya Somnath, Chinmaya Mission Washington Regional Center have been actively working on trying to help the people that are in need. We do food drives every month, weekly, at various events, various activities. So please help by going and contributing for the food for the needy. And that way we will also be able to help the people that are in need at this point in time. And that is the greatest seva that we can actually do to Lord Rama. I'm sure you all are very excited and happy to have seen the program so far. Obviously, the Chinmaya Blossoms child chanting was the cutest of all the events that we have seen so far, while Shivam chanting and the Madhuram children's Ramayana characters have been wonderfully presented. We also have Arvindji, Swamiji, and the various adults doing the bhajans. So it has been a wonderful program. A program of this type, which even though it looks to be a 1 hour program, takes many, many volunteers over many oodles of hours. So first I would like to thank all the volunteers and pray that Swamiji, Gurudev, and Lord Rama gives them all the wish that they have in their lives as they move forward. In terms of the Chinmaya Blossoms, we have a wonderful open house coming up on May 1st for the people. So please spread the word. I know most of you are members, but if you know anybody who's in the 3 to 5 age group, please spread the word. There is an open house in person coming up on May 1st. This will be followed by the Chinmaya Jayanthi program. This is always a wonderful carnival that we have every year, but this year, due to COVID, again, we will not be having this carnival. We are hoping to have a carnival, hopefully in August, if things all turn out to be good before the next school year begins. Let's pray and hope that that happens. But in the meantime, we will still have an online Chinmaya Jayanthi program from 11 to noon on May 9th. It will be the usual activities that we will be doing, which includes the puja and all those activities, but there will also be the Gita chanting trophy distribution that will happen through a drive-through approach, as we did last year, from 1 to 3 on that particular day. So those that participated in the Gita chanting competition, please come and join, and you might get some surprise as well through the process. Next. We do have quite a few programs coming up in the summer. I'm just going to quickly touch on it. All these are there in the newsletter. Most of you I see are members, so I'm just going to touch on it. We have the Chinmaya Blossom Summer Camp which has been very successful over all these years, which is conducted over an 8-week period. You see the slide over there, it is available. We then have our traditional summer camp, which is our Swamiji helping us, leading with the chanting and the storytelling that will be happening. It is for 4 weeks. That will be from 9:30 to 10:30, June 21st through July 16th. Alongside it, we will have the National Summer Camp for 7 weeks, which will be from 11 to 1. And both will, in tandem, will give you the opportunity to take advantage of the summer activities. We also have a youth camp coming up by Vivekji. Traditionally, we do it again here in Somnath, but again, this time it will be online from July 12th to July 16th. And then finally, this is a wonderful new opportunity Chinmaya Mission is embarked on. We are giving Gurudev's Holy Gita, which is the Bible of how to live life, the guide, the book that one should all have. And this now is being offered for free. So if you do not have a copy, please reach out to us on the chat. We will send out the link. And if you are interested in helping, volunteering, distributing these books, not just to Chinmaya Mission members, but any other members as well, please reach out to Medaji and she will be glad to take your help in getting this book in the hands of as many people as possible around the globe. And Medaji is leading that particular initiative here in the Washington region. Finally, you saw Vinodji having that artwork in the background. We showed you that artwork. The auction for that is still open. Please do not miss this wonderful opportunity to get this particular artwork and make it your own. So please send in your bids for that particular artwork. So with that, I will hand it over to our young adults and the budding adults, Setukaris, for the Rama Janma Varna chanting. Hari Om. Give us a minute. We just seems to have some technical issue.
Hari Om. The next portion of our evening is presented by our DC Chicks and Situkaris. Chick, or Chinmaya Yuva Kendra, is a youth group for those in the age range of 16 to 28, and Situkari is a community building group for those in the age range of 28 to 40. Our Chicks and Situkaris are presenting for you a musical song and dance video of the birth of Lord Rama as described by Goswami Tulsidas Ji in the Ramcharitmanas. This portion is taken from the Balakan, Dohas 190 to 192. In this portion, Tulsidas Ji describes the birth of Lord Rama, how the gods and the entire creation is eagerly awaiting the arrival of the Lord, and how Mother Kaushalya just wants to see the sporting childhood plays of baby Rama. Enjoy. Hari Om.
We will now conclude the program with Rama Arati and Maruti Arati from Somnath altar, composed by Swami Tejomayananda and sung by Lakshmi Ji.
मंगल आरती सिय रघुवर की, दशरथ नंदन जनक सुता की, भरत लक्ष्मण रिपुसूदन की, रघुवर अति प्रिय पवन तनय की, मंगल आरती। मंगल मातु पिता गुरुजन की, सुंदर अवधपुरी सरजू की, सेवक साधु सखा पुरजन की, जनहित निरत सदा रघुपति की, मंगल आरती। मंगल नित नई राम कथा की, राम नाम जन जीवन धन की, मधुर मनोहर मन भावन की, प्रीति सिय रघुवर चरणन की, मंगल आरती। मंगल आराधन साधन की, समझम नियम ज्ञान निर्मल की, मंगल आरती तुलसीदास की, राम हृदय अति कोमल चित की, मंगल आरती। मंगल आरती सिय रघुवर की, दशरथ नंदन जनक सुता की, भरत लक्ष्मण रिपुसूदन की, रघुवर अति प्रिय पवन तनय की, मंगल आरती। मंगल आरती। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। आरती श्री चिन्मय मारुति की, सदा हमारे हित रक्षक की, आरती श्री चिन्मय मारुति की, सदा हमारे हित रक्षक की, केसरी नंदन अंजनी सुत की, रुद्र तेज बल समीर युत की, आरती श्री चिन्मय मारुति की, सदा हमारे हित रक्षक की, अष्ट सिद्धि नव भक्ति निष्ठ की, आत्म बुद्धि व्यवहारिणी पुन की, आरती श्री चिन्मय मारुति की, सदा हमारे हित रक्षक की, सीताराम चरण सेवक की, अभयद वरद श्री सज्जन प्रिय की, आरती श्री चिन्मय मारुति की, सदा हमारे हित रक्षक की, आरती श्री चिन्मय मारुति की, सदा हमारे हित रक्षक की। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय।
That concludes tonight's program. Thank you to everyone for joining us. Hope you all enjoyed the program. See you all at Chinmaya Jayanthi on May 9th, and good night. Hari Om.